Hello, dear students. How are you? Grade 10. I'm Miss Shirin, biology teacher. Today I'm going to explain chapter 8, section 1, okay, which is about transfer energy. Okay, let's what the energy transfer. Previously, we studied about ecosystem and the level of ecosystem, and each level affect to another levels. Okay, so energy transferring. What the energy transfer? How energy transfer? What the first source of energy? It is sun. So we get energy from what? From sun. But who get the all energy from the sun and turn to us? Who is responsible? Plant. Plant. What? How plant? Okay. So why need energy? Why is need energy? Need energy for what? For growth, movement, and maintenance and reproduction. So who capture all the sunlight and turn it into food? It is plant. Plant capture all the energy from the sun and make own food, okay, which is the company of food or for making food is present in their tissue. Clear? And after into animals or human, okay? So energy, it is decreased when, why decrease it? Does the same energy is present at the second level of ecosystem? Of course not. Why? Why? Because each one, look at here. In the first level, it has more energy, okay? Which is plant captures all the sunlight from energy and make to food. After when turn to another level, as you know, we have many level of ecosystem, the energy try to decrease it. Okay, so amount of energy impacted, amount of energy affected on ecosystem structure, of course. So determine the number of organisms. If you have an ecosystem which present plant, water, okay. When plant and water present in any place, that means organism is present here. For example, human only can live in that place which is there is presence of water and plant. Okay, that means that determine the number of organism ecosystem factors. Okay, classify organism by energy transfer into what? Producer and consumer. Producer, which is autotrophic or heterotrophic. Okay. Who make own food? Consumer or, producer or consumer? Of course, producer. Why producer can make own food? Such as the best example of producer, it's what? Plant. Clear? Plant, which is capture the sunlight and make food by a process which is called photosynthesis. And plant make their own food, okay, plant and some proteins and some bacteria. So consumer is classified how they can make, they can make own food consumer? Of course not. Okay, consumer classified it into 4 groups, which is herbivore, carnivore, omnivore, and detritivores. Herbivores, which is only eat plants, okay? Which the organism only eat plants, such as we have what? Antelope, okay? This is one. Carnivore, which is only eat consumer. Only eat what? Consumer, and only eat meat, okay? For example, you have lion, eagle, and cobra. What about omnivore? Omnivore, which means it is both plant and meat, okay? Plant and animal, sorry. Such as what? Grassy bear. The other one feed on dead material or waste material, such as with volunteers. Okay, let's go to the first one, which is about producer. Let's know producer, how they make own food, and how they classify it. Producer, autotrophic, make their own food. the first important thing. How they make offer? Typical of producing using energy, we have two types of producer. One of them is called photosynthesis producer and chemosynthesis producer. What the difference between them? Photosynthesis producer, they're using what? Solar. They're using sun. They're using sunlight. Capture the sunlight and turn it into food. Clear? But chemosynthesis producer using energy from what? From an organic molecule. Does they using sunlight? Of course not. They don't using sun. Clear? As a photosynthesis. Okay. Example of producer. We have two types of producer, which mean two types of producer, which means some of them live on the land, some of them, the plant which is live in the land, the plant which living in the water. Only plant? No. Terrestrial ecosystem, which is like what? Plant, as I mentioned it. Terrestrial ecosystem, which is like what? Plant. Yes. This is plant. Plant, which type of producer? Which type of producer? Terrestrial ecosystem. Aquatic ecosystem, which is include what? Protists, bacteria. Photosynthetic protists and bacteria are usually what? Measure of producer. Photosynthetic protists and bacteria, who they are the major producer? Protists and bacteria usually measure of producer in what? In aqua ecosystem. So in terrestrial ecosystem, which one it is measured and has important role? Of course, plant in the land. Plant a measure of producer. Clear? Okay. Let us go to, yes, some common questions. Okay, for example, what the photosynthesis? What the photosynthesis? Photosynthesis is a process where organisms use what? Use sunlight. The process of photosynthesis should be present sunlight. If there is no sunlight, that means there is no photosynthesis. Okay? So plant, they produce food by what? By which kind of process? Photosynthesis. What the chemosynthesis? Chemosynthesis is a process where some bacteria make food energy from what? From an organic molecule. Have you seen the difference? Chemosynthesis, they don't use sun. So how they make food? These organs, they can make own food. So how they make food? By what? By what? By an organic molecule. Clear? What are the main producers in the terrestrial ecosystem? Who the main producer? Who has the important role in terrestrial ecosystem? Again, plant. Plant is the main producer in terrestrial land in ecosystem. So in the land, who is the boss for making food? Making own food? It is plant. Clear? So what are the main producers in aqua ecosystem? Who the boss, or you can say who the boss in aqua ecosystem? Who can make own food? Which one? Which organisms? Protists and bacteria. Clear? So which one? Protists and bacteria are the main producer in aqua systems. Okay. Yes, let us go to measuring productivity, the important subject. Okay. Measuring productivity, cross primary productivity. What does it mean? It's the rate. It's the rate which producer in ecosystem capture energy, which means all the total energy which captured from the sun. Its name what? Called what? Gross primary productivity. The total energy which captured from the sun by plant. Clear? Be careful with me. The first one, what is it? Gross primary productivity, which is what? The total energy. The total energy which captured it. Who captured it? Who captured it? Plant. Okay? Plant. By a process which is photosynthesis. Clear? Why photosynthesis? Because they are pigment which is called chloroplast, and inside chloroplast there is a pigment which is chlorophyll that helps him to capture what? The sunlight. Okay. Now, do you have any question? Clear? Primary productivity, what is it? Yalla, repeat it. The total energy. Clear? Which kind of total energy? Which is captured from the sun. Okay. So, photosynthesis, by photosynthesis, producer, which in plant, using energy, captured to make what? To make sugar. So, plant, they make what? Sugar. By such process, photosynthesis, which captures the sun. Sugar is the monomer of carbohydrate. Okay? It is a simple carbohydrate which is called monosaccharide. You learn in chapter 3. Clear? So, plant, they make sugar. Why they make sugar? They make sugar, or they make own food for what? Some sugar it's using for what? Cellular respiration. Some of this sugar they're using for cellular respiration. Some of them, they what? They maintain and repair. Clear? Some of sugar, they make new organisms that may help him to grow or reproduction. Clear? Does plant use all the sugar? Use all the food? So what about us? How the energy transferred to other organisms? How? Look at here. Look at here. There is the point. Okay. Ecology, refer to organic material in ecosystem biomass. What the biomass? What the biomass? The food that produced by plant, which is sugar, as I mentioned it before, it's called what? Biomass. Clear? Biomass, it is organic material. Who make the organic material? The producers. By two ways, photosynthesis and chemosynthesis. Clear? Organic materials such as protein, carbohydrate, lipid, okay? You learned about this previously. So plant produce what? Sugar. The monomer of carbohydrate. Carbohydrate, it is organic material. In ecosystem, don't say organic matter. Instead, say biomass. Biomass, that's meant organic material. Clear? Biomass is organic material that have been produced in ecosystem. That's what? Any what? Organic material. Organic material such as what? Protein, carbohydrate, lipid. Right? We have many of organic material. Biomass. Biomass, who make biomass? The producer organism by two process, photosynthesis and chemosynthesis. Clear? So, during this lecture or during clearing ecosystem, when you hear about biomass, that's meant you are talking about organic material. Clear till here? Perfect. Excellent. Yes, let us go to some common example. What do ecologists called organic material, as I mentioned it. This is important. That's why I'm explaining in detail. Organic material in ecosystem. Ecologists call organic material in ecosystem what? Biomass. So biomass and organic materials are the same thing. But in ecosystem, don't say organic material, say biomass. Clear? That's all. So what is the biomass? What's the biomass? Biomass is organic material produced in ecosystem by two processes, as I mentioned, photosynthesis and chemosynthesis. Look at then some important notes. Only energy stored as a biomass is available to other organisms in ecosystem. So which one? Only energy that only energy stored as a biomass is available to other organisms, which means only biomass transfer from level to another levels. Clear? What's the biomass we talked about? It is organic material, which is carbohydrate, protein, lipid, which transfer from level to another levels. Clear? Okay. Net primary productivity. What is it? Net primary productivity equal cross, other cross we talked about it previously, cross which meant the total energy which plant captured from the sun to make food, right? This is what? The total energy minus the rate of respiration in production, as we mentioned. As I mentioned it, plant, they make own food to what? Some of them they're using, especially for what? For grow, for respiration. Some of them will remain. Clear? The remaining one called net primary conductivity, which is presented to the next level of in ecosystem. Clear? Look at this picture. We have solar system. Sorry, we have a solar sun with solar energy. Who captured it? This is a plant. Capture the total energy, which is called GPP. It's referred to what? GPP cross primary productivity, which is the total energy. Some of them turn into what? Plant they're using for what? Cellular work. Some of them energy stored as a biomass, which is what? NPP, referred to what? NPP, net primary productivity, which is presented to the next level. Clear? The remaining one. Okay. So net primary productivity typically expressed, of course, like other thing, it has an unit, which is by what? Energy per unit area per year, calorie, mass, and year, or another unit, which is mass per unit, unit area per year, gram mass per year. Okay, it has two typical of unit. Clear? Let's go to net primary productivity. Does net primary productivity are the same all the world? Of course not. It's not the same. It changes from place to another place. For example, net primary productivity is tropical rain. Okay, at tropical rainforest, it is 25 times greater than the rate in what? Desert at of the same size, of course, because at the desert there is no rain, right? And there is no plant. Even there is plant, but it's very few, okay? That's why it is different. But at the tropical rainforest, there is more sun, there is more plant, there is more organism, okay? That's why it is 25 greater than desert at the same size. Also, the rainforest occupying 5%, okay? Occupying 5% of the earth, but they account for almost 30% of the world net primary productivity. So it depends on the environment. Clear? It's, net primary productivity is not same at the same place, okay? It's different from place to another places, okay? Depend on something. Now, yes. Look at here, some common question. What the three factors mainly affect on net productivity? Interestical. Sorry. What are the three factors mainly affect productivity in what? In terrestrial ecosystem. As we know, in terrestrial ecosystem, which is who was measured? Of course, plant. Okay? So light, of course, light is very important. If there is no light, can plant make on food? Of course not. If there is no light, that means there is no light of sun. Clear? And temperature. Temperature is very important. If the temperature is very high and is very low, again affected on the net primary productivity. What about precipitation? Again, precipitation is affected on net primary productivity because, sorry, what do the three factors affect on terrestrial productivity? The three factors, what they affected? Because they are influences in what? Photosynthesis and plant growth, as I mentioned. It's affected of photosynthesis. If there is no light, does the process of photosynthesis work? Of course not, because of sun, the light of sun capturing by photosynthesis during this process. What two main factors determine productivity in aqua ecosystem? Again, in aqua system, again, some factor affected on net productivity. Light, again, light, of course, is affected on photosynthesis and chemosynthesis, and the availability of nutrients, which is only the chemosynthesis, they're using the nutrients, which is an organic material. And what are the nutrients important for aqua ecosystem? Nutrients support what? Growth to product like what? Algae and bacteria. Okay? So thank you for listening. Gracias. God blessing you. Thank you. Inshallah, next lesson we're gonna continue.